What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels Podcast. I'm your host, Brad, joined by my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
We hope you all had an excellent Turkey Day here in the U.S., or as those of you outside of the U.S. refer to it as Thursday last week. Fortunately, the game industry tends to shut down during these things, so we don't have a lot of news, but the news we have is pretty substantial. Some interesting stories this week. Of course, post office later in the show. Before we get into what we've been playing, though, let's talk about some housekeeping. Don't forget, if you're not a member of our Discord yet, you can join by going to densepixels.com/fans, along with other listeners of the show, where you can chat with them, with us, inside of Discord, and of course, ask us questions in the post office that we answer every week. To find us on YouTube, just go to youtube.com/densepixels. Subscribe there. We put the show out in video format every single week. If you prefer your podcast in audio format, just search for TNP Studios wherever you get your podcast. You'll find us. You'll find the Apocalypse, Black and Black Cinema, and the Look Forward Political Show. If you'd like to support us with zeal, go to densepixels.com/premium. Just $5 a month to support your favorite independent media network. Micah, I was under the impression that after Lumines and Anno 117 came out, and both of whom are fighting for a spot on my top 10 list for the year, and I had been beaten down by just the glut of new games that we've gotten this year, I thought that we were finally done. And then just out of nowhere, out comes a twin stick shooter from a former designer at Housemarque Studios who used to specialize in this type of game before kind of making a right turn in doing Returnal. In a game called Sektori. It's with a K, not with a C. But a game called Sektori. The best way to describe Sektori is, what if they kept making Geometry Wars games and kind of evolved the mechanics? And I have been playing quite a bit of Sektori because this game is really difficult to put down. It's a twin stick shooter where you are gliding, your ship across a 2D plane as enemies come in and you have to blow them up. The thing that makes Sektori really interesting is that during the game, during your run, like sections of the stage will disappear and the stage will kind of like reformat itself into new configurations and things like that. So you're not just playing on a static field the entire time. And so that's interesting because if you get caught on like the part of the stage that's getting deleted, it literally just kills you. Like no extra hits, like no, doesn't matter how many shields you have, it just ends your run straight away, which has caught me out a couple of times. There's basically 5 worlds throughout the campaign. Each one is capped off by a boss fight. The boss you get is random, but in a pool of I think like 5 bosses that they are, and if you encounter bosses later in the run, they'll have like new mechanics and stuff like that they didn't necessarily have in earlier stages of the run. And then this game also combines some old school stuff with it. The power-up system is kind of similar to how they do it in Gradius, where you collect like a generic power-up and it moves like an option along this meter. And the better power-ups, you have to like save them up, and then once you cash it in, the meter resets. So you can kind of go up that way. So you can really, customize how your run unfolds. And then because I am not, interested in these games enough as it is, there's a very light, like roguelike upgrade system as well, where when you get a certain power up on the field, you get your pick 3 special abilities, and you pick one of those, and that also adds to it. And the cool thing about that is you can actually customize which groups of special abilities are available on your run, so you can kind of configure it somewhat to how you want it to be. And I'm very bad at this game, but that does not stop me from playing it. Like, I have not beaten the campaign yet. Like I said, there's 5 stages in total. I've only gotten to the end of stage 3 before my run has ended, just because it is completely skill driven. So I've just been trying to get better, trying to learn the bosses. The thing that's cool is that they do have alternate game modes, and each of these alternate game modes kind of like lets you practice one specific aspect of the main campaign game. So like they have one that's all about maneuverability where you don't have any weapons. You have to like fly through these gates that appear on the field and while dodging enemies at the same time. And they have one that specializes exclusively on like you have a dash ability like you tend to in these games where you can like dash forward and kind of like create an explosion where your ship stops. And that's the other crafty thing about this game as well, is that if you dash into the power up tokens that appear on the field, it actually resets your dash immediately instead of putting on a cooldown. So you're kind of incentivized to chain those together as best you can. It's got the exact soundtrack that you would expect for a game like this, which is super techno. And it's also very colorful and bright and lots of colors and lots of crazy things going on. This game's very, very good. If you are a fan of Geometry Wars from back in the day, or just of like twin stick shooters, or like coin op style like arcade games and stuff like that, from this is kind of like an evolution of those. This is what Housemarque did to a lot of critical acclaim, but not very much commercial success before they pivoted to whatever they're doing now, which is so far just Returnal. But I always enjoyed Housemarque's games. Like I was a big fan of like Super Stardust and Resogun and Nex Machina and things like that came out. So it's cool that there's still some folks that used to be at that studio that are still carrying the flame for these types of games. So I love this. My top 10 is it's a fucking mess right now, man. Like I easily made a top 20 so far. And there are some notable games that didn't even crack the 20 on my list. Like that's what kind of year this year has been. And Sektori is certainly going to be a contender for the top 10 list. For me, it's very good. It's very good.
All right.
How is Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Micah, which came out today?
Yeah, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Look, the game is fine. There's one major problem for me personally that I have with that game, but I'll talk about it in a bit. It's from the folks that did the from Dot Emu, I guess is how you pronounce.
So they're
No,
the
so they're the
publisher,
publisher.
and
They're the publisher.
the
And Tribute
developer,
Games
yeah,
is the
Tribute,
developer.
yeah, they did Tribute did the Turtles
They did
Shredder's Revenge game.
Yeah, they did the Shredder's Revenge games, which were very fun. And this is very fun also. Look, it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up in the old school vein, right? Where you move from left to right or up to down, whatever, to get to an end, and then you fight a boss, and you pick up street food along the way. And the hook for this game is that you pick two characters and you can switch characters on the fly. In mid combo, you can switch in a variety of different types of ways.
So one might say this
And
game really takes you for a ride then as you're playing through
there's a couple of Marvel vs. Capcom references in there in terms of colors and proton cannons and the like. But it's fun. You can really rack up some. It feels good to rack up like really long combos. And so far, it's got 15 characters. I've only unlocked. It has 15 characters, and you start off with like 10 or 11. And of the one, and I've played most of them.
it.
They all play different, and they they all play different in a way that is like Captain America, for instance. His like special ability is he can throw his shield, right? And you can angle the shield to make it hit different enemies, and it will always come back to you, right? Beta Ray Bill is another character that can throw his hammer, but but you throw the hammer can stay in place, right?
Hmm.
So they're similar but different, right? And they all feel different. Like She-Hulk is there, she feels like a grappler. Like a lot of her moves are based in grabbing enemies and giving them power drivers and stuff like that, dropping elbows and all that fun stuff. Spider-Man is is very fast and nimble. Like they all play the way you think that they should play, which is very cool. It makes me wonder what kind of DLC characters are going to pop up and
Hmm.
how they will differ. Um, each character has the ability to level up, and then you get like different rudimentary, like, oh, your health is increased or your passive is better or whatever, right? And there are certain challenges and stuff that you can do within the level to get more currency, and then you can use that currency to unlock new colors or stuff like that. So it's pretty fun if you like Marvel stuff. Um, if you like Turtles in Time, but like, or Turtles in Time, if you like Shredder's Revenge, but like want it from Marvel, um, you, th- there you go. This is for you, and I'm enjoying it. The problem with this game is that I went and bought and played Absolutum or Absolum
Hmm.
first. That's a much better game, Brad.
Uh,
That's
I
it's
I know because I played Absolem. Well, I don't know that it's better than Cosmic Invasion because I haven't played
it
that.
is.
But
It's a much better game. I mean, holy shit, man. Like, is just when I think I'm done with all these roguelike elements in video games,
Mhm.
here it is, given a fresh new coat of paint with with an art style that is, it doesn't necessarily have the charm that Cosmic Invasion has, but I think it's better. I think
Mhm.
it's more unique. And that, that part of that is because it's an original like IP, right? They
Mhm.
don't have to, Disney doesn't have a gun to their head saying Captain America must have the ears, right? So, but Absalom is I mean, it's super fun, man. And the combat feels better. The replay value is better just because you have to, given the nature of the game,
Well, not only that, but because you have all those branching paths as
you have the
well.
branching
Yeah.
paths, right? You know, Cosmic Invasion has like these job ass branching paths, but they're not. Like they ultimately converge to another nexus, right? And you can't just like not play the other one. Like
Mhm.
you have the one, you have the one, the first stage, and then you can either choose the path north or the path south, right?
Mhm.
But no matter what you pick,
You're gonna have to go back
if
and
you
do the other one eventually
you
anyway.
have to go back and
Right.
do the other one if you want to advance, right? You can't advance without doing, but so like who gives a shit, right? Like it could just be a straight line. But Absolem, I mean, Adam Solem's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. It's like $5 cheaper. So look, man,
Honestly,
if
even more than Hades 2, I think Absolem's the game that I feel the guiltiest that I haven't been able to give like the amount of time to that I want to this year so far.
yeah, I mean, I see that because Hades has like systems on systems on systems, and it just like Absolem is interesting enough, and it's enough of a carrot on a stick to keep you going, and it 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 just feels better to play. Like it's a beat 'em up, so yeah, like enemies are cheap, right? And they'll hit you from like different angles and stuff like that. But there are more movement options in Absolem.
Hmm.
Like you can dodge in that game and then counterattack. Whereas Marvel Cosmic Invasion, like you get hit on a wrong angle, bro. You just getting hit, or they have ways to defend yourself, right? But like it just, Absolem is people were saying how good this game is. Um, it's on my list, man. Like it's really good. Um, yeah, yeah. So that's my review of Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Invasion is making
Go
you play
play Absolem.
Absolem instead. Absolem is really good though. Like that game.
Yeah,
That
man.
game does
It
fucking
really
slap.
is. It really is.
Um, I had one more for me. So like I finished with Chain Echoes. I didn't beat Chain Echoes. Chain Echoes unfortunately lost a lot of steam at the very end of the game, where kind of the quirkiness of how you level up your character kind of gets in the way of the game a little bit. So I didn't finish it because I kind of ran out of steam with it, even though I think the story is great and the systems are really cool. And I still encourage people to check it out. So I'm playing Anno still. I can't put Anno down. Anno's fucking tremendous. And I've been playing Sektori. And so I have like space for another game I can throw the rotation. And Carrie, when Carrie and I were talking through that top 100 like IGN list that they put out, and she made the case for Final Fantasy IV, it made me realize like, man, I never have actually played Final Fantasy IV. Like I started it once and I got like an hour in, and it was the DS version, so it was like not even the preferred version of the game, I don't think so. And I have the Pixel remaster, so I booted up Final Fantasy IV, and I'm playing it right now. Final Fantasy IV is really weird. It's a really weird Final Fantasy game. So first of all, because I haven't played like a true old school RPG in a while, like one from the early 90s specifically, I forget like how to the point those games are. Like how there's like really no fluff, like you're moving from story beat to story beat to story to story beat, like yeah. Constantly as you're advancing. The thing that makes Final Fantasy IV weird is in how the narrative is told and how it kind of upends your expectations on how your party is comprised. It's almost more like a Dragon Quest game if the mercenaries that you picked up in Dragon Quest were actually like fully fleshed out characters. Because the thing that's so weird about it to me is that like you have all these characters that are like they join you for a time, and then it's not uncommon for like a character to just disappear from the story for a little while. Or when they come back, like when you get Tella the mage, like he can't remember his spells and shit like that. And then like relatively early in the game, he remembers all of them, and so you have like a fully kitted out white, like a fully kitted out white / black mage that knows all the spells. Now obviously like your MP is constricted, so like it's not like you can just go, stunning on everybody the entire fucking game. But the fact that you have access to all those so early is very strange. Definitely not how I'm used to these types of games going, where you have to gradually build things up. Like the big moment for Cecil happens in the game a lot earlier than I thought it did. But like I've already I'm not that far into it. I'm only like 5 hours in, and I've already gotten to the big like Cecil, like the big part of his story, or like the big arc for him. So it's just a very weird game. It's a good game. The story is interesting. It's it plays like a Final Fantasy game before Final Fantasy VI plays, for sure. But it's just because I had never played this, it's just very interesting to see the gulf between 4 and 6. And it makes me kind of appreciate 6 even more than I used to. Not that 4 is bad, but like how much that series evolved in just 3 years time is pretty fucking remarkable in terms of that. So, but I like Final Fantasy IV. I'm enjoying it. I'm sure I'll finish it. And it's good. But it's
played Final Fantasy IV in a very long time, but I remember really liking the story, like more than like of the my top three was 6, 4, and 7 in that order in terms of story. And yeah, I might have to go replay that. Like I haven't played it I've played it forever, man.
Yeah. And but it's so funny just because of how those games are, because of course they're dealing with a lot simpler technology and storytelling devices. It is very funny coming from a modern age of RPGs to see like when you first meet Edward and he's very melancholy and he's like I'm gonna stay here, with her, like I'm not gonna leave her aside, and then like Tella says like fucking 2 things to him to be like, hey, fucking nut up, dude, like let's go on an adventure, and he's like, you're right, like it's time to move on. So like that part of it is very funny, just kind of coming back to that, but But yeah, like I said, it's just a really, it's just a really weird Final Fantasy game. Like certainly so far, because I've played 1 and 5 and 6. So far, definitely the weirdest of the 8/16-bit era, in my eyes, from what little I've played so far. Well, let's get into the news. Like I said, there was not a lot of stories this week, but the stories that are here, there's a lot to chew on. None of it good, unfortunately, as is typically the way in the game industry nowadays. The first one is one that a story that you might have passed you by, because it kind of deals with a very little known niche horror game. But it made news because of how Valve is treating it. So there's a developer called Santa Ragione, I believe is what they're called, who have kind of made these very weird, quirky horror games for several years. And they have a new one that's coming out. It's called Horses. And it's important to kind of understand like the basic premise of the game to then kind of lead into the bigger story. So Horses is a game where the premise is that like you play I think like a teenager who goes to like work on this horse farm for like the summer or whatever, but you find out that the horses on the horse farm are actually people that are naked, who are wearing like horse masks basically, but doing the job that like horses would do. And there's all sorts of and so the whole game is kind of like experiencing this and kind of like this weird shit. Now it's to be clear, like all of the nudity in the game is censored. Like everything's blurred out, so it's not a nudity issue. So a couple of years ago, the studio was submitting games to the marketplaces so they could get wish lists and potentially pre-orders and stuff like that. And Valve banned their game from Steam, basically saying like, hey, you can't put this on here because of our standards and conduct, or our content guidelines, and this game violates it. And Santa Ragione basically like has been working with Valve, or trying to work with Valve, I should say, for the last 2 years to understand what specifically is in the game that is causing it. And Valve is like, and Valve won't basically won't tell them why they're keeping the game from here. And like the developer thinks they know like the scene that caused it, right? Like there's a scene in the game where the way that like one of the things that happens in the game is that like a spoiled rich girl like comes to the farm because she wants to ride the horses, right? Like a little 12-year-old girl. And so like there's a scene in the game where like you see this like 12-year-old girl like riding on the shoulders of this like naked person like wearing a horse mask, and they were like, maybe that's objectionable. And so they actually reworked the scene, because they said like, actually like with the dialogue the way it is and the themes we're talking about in the game, like this scene would actually be even more effective if like the person, like the spoiled rich kid, was like like a young adult, like a 19-20-year-old adult coming to do this. They actually changed the scene and let Valve know and try to resubmit it, but Valve just won't. Like they refuse to publish the game, and they refuse to explain specifically why the game isn't being published. And again, this predates the payment processor fiasco that we've been talking about for a lot of the last several months. Also, the game is being published on like every other store. Like Epic is going to publish it, GOG is going to publish it, Itch is going to publish it. It's just Steam that's not doing it, and it's a bit ironic, because one of the things which the pendulum has swung both ways as far as better or worse about Valve as a company is they tend to take a pretty like libertarian stance on a lot of things, when it comes to like their forum moderation, when it comes to some of the games that do get published on the Steam. They tend to kind of be like, hey, like it's a free market, put it out there. If you don't like it, you don't have to engage with it, but we're not gonna be a heavy-handed censor. So it is just interesting to see it happen in this specific case, and it is a bit baffling for them to not engage with the developer and help them understand like why especially when all these other publishers are, or like all these other storefronts are willing to publish the game. Like, why they're not doing it?
Very odd, man. I mean, I I feel like corporations like I feel like you owe it to them. Like you owe them an explanation.
Hmm.
I just don't understand. Yeah, it's extremely frustrating and also fucked up. One of the world's biggest indie studios is facing a shit. Yeah, like I
I should say one explanation more than just a very like oblique, like, hey, this violates our
yeah,
content
yeah, like an
guidelines things.
actual
Right.
explanation, not like some bullshit like where you gotta not some bullshit YouTube, this violates our terms and policy, and then you gotta go back and edit videos to figure out what it is, what it might be, and all that. Like, nah, man. Like, where are the people that it doesn't? All right, man. It's just kind of foul. It's just kind of foul.
And again, like for people like, oh, well, gaming doesn't work this way. When the ESRB rates a game, like, and they are shown the things that the game has, like, they will specifically tell developers and publishers, like, hey, this these specific things, X, Y, and Z are the reasons why the game gets the rating that it does. So like, if you have an end game that you really want it to be a teen because you want to be able to market it to more people, this is more true back in the day. It's not as important now, but like, you literally had to go in and cut or tone down the content that was causing the M rating to get it to pass censorship. Movies do this all the time still.
Yeah.
To this day, like, it's a pretty common practice for the MPAA to be like, hey, like, these specific scenes are why the thing gets an R rating, or you said you use fuck in the sexual like in a
Right.
sexual context once, so it gets
Use
an
it as a
automatic R,
verb.
right? Like, so like that kind of shit. So and for Valve of all companies to be the one doing it is it's just very odd behavior from a company that purports itself to be like this very like laissez-faire when it comes to these practices. And again, like, it's not like there's stuff that's on Valve that is there's plenty of things on Steam that are more objectionable than the themes and stuff
Right.
like that, that are in this game, between all like the fucking hentai simulators and all that other shit that you
Right.
get on there if you don't curate your recommendations correctly. So
One of them etchy anime titty games
right.
and fucking censor that shit. That shit is all over the place.
Yeah. So I guess one positive to come out of this is because this story did get the traction that it did, it kind of like Streisand affected the game into the public consciousness and will probably be more successful than it would have been otherwise,
Yeah.
without it. So, silver lining and all that. But it just, like I said, between this and coming down heavy handed because of the whole payment processor stuff, I really hope Valve does not slide more towards the direction that they seem to be headed as far as the Steam storefront goes, because we're all there right now. And so
Right.
like don't become fucking Facebook is my
Right.
is my plea.
God, this fucking this move to the right that the country is facing is just so weird, man. Because like of course we were young enough. The last big, huge conservative like movement that was here, but like we were young. We were too young to really feel the effects of it,
Mhm.
right? Whereas now, and now as an adult, it's just like, well, they're complaining to my father. And he was like, yeah, I've been there, done that. Like, oh, all right. Like, we'll get through it. I'm like, all right, man.
Good for your dad, remaining liberal and not becoming the stereotypical like conservative old black dude. So
No, no, he's not that. Hold on. He dances with that devil in the pale moonlight. Okay,
okay.
don't get me wrong. Yeah, all right. There was some Hispanic people moved across the street. He's like, why are they over there burning leaves in their front lawn and this, that, and that? I was like, all right, man, just calm down. But he getting there. He trying. He's 70. He's 74. He's 74. He just like these other 74-year-old politicians. He just don't have no power. So
There you
it's
go.
just like so it don't let him go to his head.
Well, I'll tell you who does have a lot of power. And again, every time we bring it up on the show, we talk about how the fact we don't really talk about Roblox, even though Roblox, by all intents and purposes, is the biggest thing in video games. It's just not in our sphere, so it's not something that we talk about very much. And maybe Roblox should follow the same advice and not talk about Roblox very much. If this interview that Roblox's CEO did with the New York Times is any indication. So Roblox has been coming under some scrutiny, deservedly so, for how they are or are not making sure that children, who is the majority of their user base, stay safe on their platform, especially as that platform grows and becomes like a potential haven and a preying ground for like sexual predators and stuff like that. So to be clear, Roblox reached out to the Times to set up this interview about so that they could talk about like, hey, here's all the things that we're doing to protect children. And it did not go well. Did not go well. The two big quotes that came from this were early in the interview. I'm pretty sure the New York Times let off with this, and they asked the CEO like, "Hey, so like, what are you doing to protect? Like you guys, have a problem potentially with child predators being on your platform and preying on your user base. So what are you doing to protect this?" And like from the jump, like the CEO got like super defensive about like the line of questioning, even though like, did you not anticipate these questions like coming your way about your platform? But okay.
So I have the quote.
Yeah, go ahead and read the quote. It's something. All right.
It starts off. What do you think of the problem of predators on Roblox? To which Bazuki, is
Yeah,
that
I
the
think
guy's
that's his
name?
name. Yeah.
He says, "We think of it not necessarily as a problem, but as an opportunity as well." Full stop. Wait, what?
which
Opportunity for
which
who?
which which to be fair to him, he was not talking about like an opportunity of, hey, like we could platform even more child predators
It
on
just sounds
Roblox.
really
It
weird.
sounds very bad. It's not a good way to answer that question.
He continues, "How do we allow young people to build, communicate, and hang out together? How do we build the future of the communication at the same time?" It just sounds it just sounds
Yeah.
weird, man. It just sounds weird. Roblox's approach to this quote opportunity centers on facial age estimation. Users upload a selfie
Hmm.
that AI analyzes to place them in different age bands. While helpful in theory, the system has significant
Yeah, I'm gonna
limitations.
say
Yeah,
not. Yeah,
no
it's real,
shit.
real tough to get around that one. I gotta tell you,
Yeah, like what
because
the
don't you
fuck?
know? Yeah, these AI programs that are evaluating these things are fucking bulletproof to be able to discern. Like, oh, this is definitely a face and not just like a picture that someone's holding up
Right.
of a child.
This is almost as foolproof of a plan as the good old fashioned "Are you over 18? Yes or no?"
So the other part of the interview that's made a lot of waves is so like one of the things that Roblox has said that they want to do is put like a dating platform within the game, like where you can like meet people, like an online dating website. Again, on a platform that is specifically catering right now to children. They're just like, it would be great, a dating app that for people that are 17 years of age or older. And the host rightly pointed out that like, hey, like, the legal age in most states is 18. Like to not be considered underage, but apparently the CEO is like adamant about it being 17 for some reason, which is also fucking weird. And then kind of from there, the interviewers asking the questions make like what's an obvious joke about like introducing like a polymart like a polymarket thing on Roblox to like do like gambling and shit like that for kids, like predicting like And they're obviously kidding. And the CEO like takes that ball and is like, yeah, no, that would be excellent to be able to put like some sort of like poly market thing into Roblox. Like not for money, but like just for fun to like for the kids to be able to, you know, do some like stakes free gambling. And like the interviewee replied like, yeah, start them young. That's definitely what I would what I would say.
This is the mentality of the fucking corpo, man. They don't live in reality. All they do is think about what's hot, what corporate, what will make more money, what will make more money. Like there's something about it when you get into the corporate world. You just, I don't know if you volunteer your soul or if it is just like you are groomed to act this way. But yo, it's wild. It's wild. And they got the nerve to get mad. And
for an interview that you asked for, that your company asked for. So some advice for Roblox. Maybe give your executives just the base like the baseline minimum of media training before you send them to do actual interviews with people. Like that's number one. And number two, to all you listeners out there, if you maybe have kids that play Roblox, like the best day to perhaps delete your Roblox account was yesterday. The second best day to do it is right now, as you're listening to this, because again, clearly this company does not have the best intentions for creating a like a safe gaming environment for your child. And I know that's easier said than done, but I gotta tell you, like if they're sitting here talking about like dating apps and using like an AI gatekeeper to keep out child predators and putting gambling in Roblox, I don't think we're headed in a positive direction right now.
Time to get out, man.
With the Roblox company. So
Jesus Christ.
Finally, Tim Sweeney, who we talked about last episode, not content with taking an L. When he talked about AI a couple weeks ago, decided to come back unsolicited with another AI take again. This one equally bad. He thinks that basically like what Steam is doing in other marketplaces where they have a disclosure that lets you know that parts or aspects of the game were made using generative AI is stupid and it's not relevant anymore. And that Steam and other digital marketplaces should get rid of it. Quote, the AI tag is relevant to art exhibits for authorship disclosure and to digital content licensing marketplaces where buyers need to understand the rights. It makes no sense for game stores where AI will be involved in nearly all future production. Why stop at AI use? We could have mandatory disclosures for what shampoo brand the developer uses. Customers deserve to know.
Is the shampoo making the game? Is the shampoo stealing assets from other people? Shut up, bro. Like this is, that's the one thing I can't stand. I can't stand when people make these type of like bullshit ass arguments. Like,
irrelevant comparisons. Yeah,
right. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, one, you know what they're talking about, and two, if it wasn't such a big deal, why take it away? You want to take it away?
That's the point. That like if the point is that like it's not everyone's doing it, so why does it matter? Then you shouldn't have any problem with that disclosure.
Then leave it there.
Being
leave
on
it
there. The reason you're upset is because you understand that it's a scarlet letter in the minds of many a gamer that will make them steer clear. And again, I just like I said 2 weeks ago, I have no doubt that he is seeding the ground because I'm sure they already are, but I'm sure that it's going to get stepped up into insane degrees as time goes along, where he wants to make it clear that Fortnite is doing this, and he doesn't want people to leave Fortnite in droves when it's revealed that, you know, that is using a lot of Gen AI bullshit. That's all that this is. Like Tim Sweeney is absolutely coming out here trying to work the refs and do all this stuff so that when the big bombshell comes out, like, oh, like Fortnite basically uses AI to generate all of their character, you know, like models and stuff like that in the game. And in fact, like people are now like looking for that shit in Fortnite because he's out here so defensively about like it's not a big deal. Like why does anyone care? Like this, that, or the other thing. And that's what's going
And
on.
we're not talking about like using AI in terms of as it should be meant, right? As like a tool. We're talking about like slop
Mm-hmm.
stealing, using generative AI to steal other people's work, right? Because there's a lot of bullshit semantics about AI, right? Like people who use Photoshop. I use Photoshop and I use AI to assist in like erasing flight stands and stuff like that. I'm not using AI to say, "Hey, put Superman in this scene or whatever," right? Like that's weird, right? Like that's not cool. And pe- I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't stand when people I can't stand when people when people are obtuse. It really irks me. Like we're like, all right, okay, okay, all right.
Here's an idea for you, Tim Sweeney. Maybe instead of worrying about what AI is and isn't disclosed in games, maybe don't partner with an alleged domestic abuser for your next partnerships in Fortnite. Maybe that's something you want to give a shit about. Perhaps. Are you aware of this? By the way.
No,
Uh,
not at all.
so 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 their next season, which I think starts like now, basically, because I know the Simpsons one was just going through November. The main featured person in the game, he's even the main antagonist, is a rapper that you'll be shocked to know I've never heard of before. Called Playboy Cardi. Are you familiar with that
Playboy
name?
Cardi. I'm familiar with the name. I would not be able to pick him out of a lineup.
Fair enough. Well, he's going to be the main antagonist in Fortnite. Playboy Cardi also accused of choking his at the time pregnant ex girlfriend earlier this year, and I believe is going to court about it 6 weeks ago, or I saw some stories that were published 6 weeks ago talking about this. So again, maybe look into that stuff instead of worrying about people disclosing their AI usage with video games on
Jesus
the internet.
Christ.
Tim
God
Sweeney.
damn.
So
All right, man.
I feel
All right.
I feel like hiring a domestic abuser may be even more offensive to people than the use of AI in video games. I don't know. I guess we'll find out when the Fortnite player counts drop because of the combination of moving away from a very popular cross promotion with The Simpsons and also this. So
Yeah, what tone of whiplash that is, man. Like I look, I don't know this guy. He might be, incredibly wholesome, an incredibly wholesome woman beater, I guess. But look, how do you go from The Simpsons, which say what you want about The Simpsons and its quality, nobody really hates The Simpsons. You might be tired of it, but nobody really hates
mhm.
it. Oh, it's The Simpsons. I kind of like it. To whoever the fuck this is, I man, I'm old, man. I'm old.
Well, I mean,
I'm old.
again, Fortnite is not necessarily marketed to you or I, but you
No,
know,
it is not. Jesus.
but like you said, a lot of tonal whiplash for sure. So that will take us to the Dense Pixels post office. Don't forget, if you're not a member of our Discord, you can go to densepixels.com/fans to join and ask us questions on the show, just like Johnny did. It says, question for me, or the South Asian using Brad as an avatar. What is your tipping point for the Steam console price? $500? $1,000? Be honest. So last week, or last episode, I speculated on the price, which has still not been announced, of the new Steam machine. I said that I think it's going to be $800. I wouldn't be surprised if it was six. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 1,000. But I think 800 is probably a good guess. The internet had a little bit of a mini freak out because like Valve said in an interview that like this is not going to like they're basically not going to subsidize the price of the console. Like if you look at it, it's going to be priced like a PC, not priced like a console. A lot of people assumed that this thing was going to cost like $500 when it came out, which is an insane thing to have assumed.
Yeah, I don't know why you would think that this would
Right.
cost $500.
Right.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
like trust me, if it was $500, I'd have bought two. Like, like, no,
Right. Right.
that'd be fucking happening.
We're way past the half a grand mark
Right.
when it comes to consoles.
Um, but the honest answer to this question, so if it is under 7, it's pretty much an instant purchase for me. Up to 1,000, I'd think about it. If it's over 1,000, there's no way. So
No, not for a console. You can't upgrade this thing. I don't know much about Steam.
So that means you didn't listen to the episode that you weren't on 2 weeks ago.
I didn't. Yeah, I
That's
need
okay.
to get away.
So basically, they're learning the lessons they learned with the Steam Deck, and building like they're doing the Steam machines right this time essentially. But you are correct; it's not upgradable. The only things you can upgrade are the storage and the memory on the system. Which right now, memory is not necessarily something you want to be paying for at the moment. If that's if you guys have been following that saga in the PC world. So basically, the power level that it's been comparable to is basically maybe slightly more powerful than a base PS5, but not quite as powerful as a PS5 Pro. So that's kind of where we're sitting. They say it is 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, is how they're advertising it. So
okay, I know this is not a fair comparison, but like the PS5 is like 8 billion times more powerful than a PSP, right? Like, you know, I would hope that it's way more powerful than the Steam Deck. Look, I'm not. I can't pay $1,000 for a game console. I don't think I can. Not.
Would you assume that it's at the low end of my prediction scale at 600? Would you be interested in this? Because you're a curious case for this, potentially.
So I am curious about this. If it's on the low end, and I mean like if it's like 6, if it's 6, I'll get it on a whim, right? Whatever. No killer app needed, right? If it's 6 to 650, right? If it's 7 to 750, I need to see some games. I need to see.
I mean, it's Steam. Steam.
But I mean, like, I need. But I mean, you know what I mean. Like, I need something. I need something that's gonna be like. I need something that's gonna be like, hey guys, this thing is the reason why you need this console. Because if you just say it's just Steam, I mean, look, I have a Steam account. I got like maybe 50 games on it. They're all like ancient games.
The whole point of this, like this is why I think that weirdly, like you're actually, like you and Terrence would be like the ideal customer for this type of thing, because you guys would probably like to have access to PC games. You just don't want to deal with the bullshit of a PC. and that's kind of the whole point of this, is that this is a machine that just runs Steam OS out of the box and is linked to your Steam account. And
I don't know if that's enough, man. I don't know if that's enough for me. I really don't. I don't. Look, if Sony stops making PlayStations, then yeah, okay. But you know, I don't think I'll ever buy. I don't think Xbox is going to be making any more console hardware, and I don't think I would buy one if they did. But nah, man, I can't. There's no reason to. There's no reason to, because I'm gonna want to play something that I can't play anywhere else. That's the reason I have multiple consoles. And now that Microsoft is just like, here's Gears on PlayStation,
here's
whatever,
Halo.
bro. Who cares? Here's Halo. Here's the thing that we made our nut on. Here's Halo on PlayStation, whatever, bro. Then like, there's no point in me having multiple consoles. I got a PC. Any PC game that I want to play, you know, it's probably on console. Like, and I'm not in. I only take my indie advice from you and Carrie, mainly you, and that's it.
And even I ventured to indie spaces that you would never dare tread. So.
Right. I mean, look, the fact that you got me playing Ball Pit. And,
how's that going, by the way?
It's very fun, but life is life right now. But I still, but like I would have never touched that game. I would never have touched that game. And I'm assuming you played that on PC. Well, guess
Mhm.
what? I play it on my Nintendo. So I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think
true. That's true.
I don't think I would.
That's a good question. Let me. So I'm obviously not going to go over my current top 10 list. We're going to save that for later in the year. But I'm trying to see. So how many games that are in my top 10 are only available on PC so far?
And I would be very, very curious
The answer is
because,
zero.
well, there you go.
So there you go.
So my answer is if Sony stops making PlayStations, um, the lowest theoretically, if I were to buy a new console, um, if I would buy a new console, like a new PlayStation console,
Mhm.
800 would be my like PS6 or whatever. 800 is my limit. Um, Anything else, I can't. I can't. Not gonna do it.
All right. Very good. Uh, so I'm going to combine all the F1 questions into one segment here because we had quite the weekend in F1 over the really last 2 weeks have been quite the weekend. So Evan asks, after Qatar, are we seeing the biggest choke ever in F1? Film Wanderer says McLaren booties are tight right now. Film Wanderer also asked a question about the Vegas race, which is a couple weeks ago. So TLDR for so far. So Lando Norris of McLaren was in the driver's seat, pun intended, for the drivers' championship, going into the last three races of the season. And in Vegas, which was last 2 weeks ago's race, he basically like he didn't have a great finish. He finished second. Well, I guess that is a great finish. He finished second, and his teammate Oscar Piastri, who's also in contention, finished fourth. And Max Verstappen, the current four-time reigning champion, and the third person in this race, won the race. But because Norris finished second, like he was still pretty comfortable in points, and it was looking pretty good for him. And then McLaren got double disqualified after the race ended for their skid plate being below regulation thickness, essentially. So all the points that both those drivers gained were wiped out, and Max is firmly back in the race. And then this past weekend in Qatar, McLaren made a baffling strategy call, that they didn't follow the same tire strategy that all the other teams did, basically, and essentially handed Max Verstappen a race victory. And so we now go into the last race of the season, with Lando still in front. He's ahead of Max Verstappen by 12 points, and Oscar Piastri, who is Lando's teammate, is a further, I think, 8 points behind Max Verstappen. So all three of them, there are scenarios where all three of them can win the championship in the last race this weekend coming up in Abu Dhabi. It's still in Lando Norris's hands. If Lando Norris finishes on the podium, then whatever the other drivers do does not matter. If he does not finish on the podium, then it's very possible that Max Verstappen could come from literally out of nowhere to steal a fifth consecutive drivers' championship, which would be incredible because McLaren's been so dominant compared to the other teams this year. Like they clinched the constructors' championship like 5 races ago. So their team has been crushing, but Max Verstappen is still Max Verstappen. So this could be a pretty interesting final race coming into this last weekend. If you have never watched F1 but you've been curious, this would be a fantastic race to turn into. There's going to be quite a lot of drama. I don't think we're going to get the same ending that we got in 2001, where the referees basically handed the title to Max Verstappen over Lewis Hamilton. But it should be quite a race in Abu Dhabi to end the season. I'm sure we'll talk all about it next week once we see what happens. So, Beach Boy says, "Hope y'all had a good holiday. For me, it's that time of year when I rewatch all the Bonds while listening to the Men with the Golden Tongues. It occurred to me where I'd love to hear you guys break down is the Lethal Weapon series. I know it could be a No Time to Bleed, but with your two's dynamic, it makes more sense for you guys to do that series. But more importantly, I think you're ready to break into another memorable franchise that has a white guy who's an orphan, that with an old British guy that has gadgets and missions and gals per movie. I think you guys should do Batman, all of them. Just a thought. Hopefully, it sticks. I think you guys did the first Lethal Weapon on No Time to Bleed.
I think we
Somewhere
did,
along
but
the lines.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing that again with you.
Oh,
We just gotta,
I love the Lethal Weapon series.
we
I
just gotta, find a time, man. Because I haven't seen. I've seen the Lethal Weapons. I just haven't seen them in a very, very long time. And it would be nice to have an excuse to go back and revisit those, especially because like I've seen them in order, and the
mhm.
one, which means the one that I have most recent in my head is the one with Chris Rock.
Wait, you haven't like rewatched them incessantly?
I haven't rewatched. No, I have.
Wow,
I've seen them each once.
dude, Lethal Weapon 2 is probably in my top 5 most watched movies of all time. Like no bullshit. Like I probably seen Lethal Weapon 2 more than almost any other movie. So
Yeah, man, I'll have to do that. I'll have to do that, especially because damn, I kind of want to do that because yeah, we're kind of like I'm an old black man, and you old too, but like
a
you're
little
younger than
younger.
me, you know.
Yeah, still a little younger.
Yeah,
So
you're a different kind of bitter.
by the way, and this is a fact that I only learned a couple years ago, but this is adjacent to like the Wilford Brimley Cocoon demarcation line, where there used to be an account that I would follow on Twitter that would tell you when actors passed the age that Wilford Brimley was when he starred in Cocoon, which is much younger than you assume that it is because Wilford Brimley looks like Wilford Brimley. Um, Danny Glover was 37, I think, in the first Lethal Weapon or something
Yeah,
like that.
I remember that. Yeah, man. Like Jesus Christ. Black may not crack, but it weathers, man.
And Lethal Weapon also exists inside this weird nexus, which I call like the spacey nexus, where even though one of the people in the movie has turned into like a demented psycho, that for some reason those movies remain untarnished. Like I can still watch and enjoy Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon, even knowing what Mel Gibson
Yeah,
is.
you can separate the art from the artist. Look, we all do it.
Yeah,
We all do it
like
with the
like,
stuff
like
we like.
yeah, there are several Kevin Spacey movies that also fall into that same
Yeah.
nexus, basically. So
Look, I was listening to Michael Jackson earlier today, man. I get it. I get it.
yeah, any Kevin Spacey up to the Negotiator, or like up to and including the Negotiator, I can separate from Kevin Spacey the weirdo. Also, Lethal Weapon 2, one of my favorite line readings of all time, is in that movie with the fucking South African consulate guy as Danny Glover's like,
Diplomatic
but
immunity.
but you're black.
But you're black. That's just funny.
Oh shit. Oh man, if that happened one day. God damn, the first two movies are all timers. They really are. So
Yeah, man.
Phil Wander also asked, what is your guys' gaming mantra going into 2026?
Let me find. It's gonna be something I'm not gonna. It's gonna be something I'm not gonna adhere to. Like my resolution to beat every game I buy. Like
That's an idiotic resolution. In fairness,
that was dumb.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
because
dumb.
like some games you're just not gonna jive with, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't have self control, dude. I don't have self control, so I don't know what I'm gonna. I can't say stuff like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy less games." Quality over quantity.
I mean, I'm gonna continue attacking my backlog. Like let me see where my backlog is currently. It's probably at embarrassing levels still right now. How many games are on my backlog that I own? We are at 124. I'd like to get that under 100 by the end of 2026, including games that I will buy. Look, man, that's the real reason that you should avoid getting a Steam machine, is because then you get really into the
Right.
Steam marketplace where it's just too easy to just spend money on this
Yeah.
$3
Like, oh
game that
wow,
you
this
have.
is on sale for $2.99. I love that game, and I just buy
Where
it.
I've always been curious about this. I'd be stupid not to pay $3 for it.
Like,
So yeah, continue. I want to get my backlog to under 100 games by the time we get to the end of 2026, and again that includes any other games that I will purchase. So throughout next year. Beach Boy says, also since Thanksgiving just passed, this is my first as a married man, so I had to go with my wife to her side. Now, mind you, she is white, I'm black. We did black ass Thanksgiving with my side. She enjoyed all the foods. I filled myself up, and then we had her side of the family. What's a food that's a hell no for y'all? For me, it's sweet potatoes with nuts in it. That's weird. Usually they put marshmallows in sweet potatoes if you put anything in sweet potatoes.
what? No, I've never had sweet potatoes with marshmallows in.
Really?
Really? I've actually had sweet potatoes
With
with
nuts?
nuts in it, and like sweet potato casserole with like a caramelized top, and it had nuts in it, and I don't mind that. We went to my cousin's house, and my mother made jambalaya and gumbo, and we had turkey and ham, and she made this other like rice dish. I can't remember what it was, but uh what is a no go? I don't know, man. Like I've never been to a white Thanksgiving, so you know. And look, I, I don't say this often, but I'm gonna come to bat for white people. Okay, it's not that white people don't know how to cook. Okay, I know plenty of white people that know how to cook. Some of the most famous chefs in the world are white, right? It's that the average white person doesn't like being told what to do, which means they don't know how to follow directions. All you need to do in order to cook is follow directions. That's it. Stop trying to add shit. Stop trying to, tweak shit. Oh, I'm gonna put raisins in the sweet potato casserole. Like, no, you don't have to do all that. Don't do all that. Just, just follow directions, and that's it. You good, baby. Carrie's ex-husband made some of the best ribs I've ever tasted,
Well,
and that
okay,
dude.
I will say there is that is the one carve out for white people. Like if you're asking a white person to smoke something, you're gonna have a good
Whoops.
meal.
Come
Generally.
on, man. Come on. I look. If a big fat white dude is behind the grill and with a big beard, right? Beard so thick he don't even have to salt the food. Just wring the shit out on the beard, wring the sweat out on the beard. Yo, it's gonna be some good ass. It's gonna be some good ass barbecue, man. It is. It is. So yeah, like there's plenty of things you can bag on white people about. Cooking, it's fine, right? Just don't like don't get any cooking from like white women up north. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. but
I
yeah,
I will need someone to jump in the episode discussion chat just to defend me on the sweet potatoes with marshmallows thing. Like Mike is
I've
acting like
never
this is
had
out
it.
of pocket. It is absolutely a thing.
I've never had it, man. I don't even know what it would look like. I
It looks
gotta.
exactly like you think it. Like you just put mini. Like you literally just make like your fucking sweet potatoes and you just put some mini marshmallows on top. That's it. Like it's not that complicated.
Really?
Yeah, it's good.
Wow. Wow. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. I've never seen this before, man. I've been alive for almost a half a century, and I've never seen this ever. Wow. Like I legit thought you were bullshitting.
No.
And look, look, all the hands I see cutting it or scooping it out with a spoon, they all look like my palm, man. They all look like my palm. I'm just saying. There's a reason why
Oh my
I've
god.
never seen this before.
Um, for me, tragically, I never get to enjoy what is the most signature dish at my family's Thanksgiving, which is a broccoli and cheese casserole, because I fucking hate broccoli. That's an absolute no go for me. Even though I hear it's delicious, I wouldn't know because I won't eat the motherfucker. To quote,
I won't eat the filthy motherfucker.
right?
Um, Yeah, you don't want to have dinner at the Payne household because Jesus Christ, my son will only eat broccoli. He will only eat broccoli.
Good for him.
I make some mean ass Brussels sprouts, and he just will not eat. He won't even like. All right, man. All right, get out of here. Taking a leaf and eat it. Get out of here. Wow, I am amazed at this sweet potatoes with. This is like American poutine.
It kind of is in some ways.
It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh my god. Holy shit. Mark asks, what is the worst part of Christmas and why is it fruitcake? You know, I've never had
Never
a
had a
fruitcake.
fruitcake.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one in person. I don't think I've seen a fruitcake in person like that I would be able to actually hold a fruitcake in my hand. I've always seen, fruitcake is the butt of every joke, every sitcom joke in that, around the holidays, but I've never seen an actual fruitcake. Like like I don't want to sound dumb, but like yeah, I know it looks like a loaf of bread, right? But like, is there actual fruit in it?
I think so.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I don't know. The worst part of Christmas, uh, the bullshit, like the all the consumerism that goes
Mm.
with it. And I hate to sound like super cliche, but like it's all the consumerism that goes with it, right? Because like nobody gives a shit about anybody anymore, right? They'll walk over homeless people to sit and to cosplay as a homeless person in front of a Target to try and get won't be one of the first people to walk in. Did you see that thing that Target is doing?
No. I
They
mean, you
they
mean
had this,
aside from the Chat GPT thing?
yes. they they had apparently they had this promotion where they were giving away Target swag bags, right? That you stand in line, right, and you be one of the first 100 people, and we will give you a ticket that gives you a number out of 100. You are one of the 100 lucky people in this particular Target store to get this swag bag, right? And it was this silver like cloth esque bag, right? And it was real pretty looking bag, huge bag, right? And you open that bitch up because it's like there's a prize inside. And you open the thing up, and I shit you not, Brad, it was Uno cards, gum, and lipstick in the bag, and that's it. And all these dummies with their tents out and doing their Black Friday shopping, and they got a pack of Uno cards for their trouble. Like stuff like that is what's killing Christmas. You know what I mean?
And the deal, like I looked at the deals, like most of the deals weren't even that good. Like
They're
most of the
not
deals are like,
deals
hey,
anymore, man. They don't
remember
do deals anymore.
remember what you were paying 6 months ago for this before the tariffs? Well, it's back down to that price, but only for
Right.
3 days.
Right. There are no deals anymore, man, because they know they got you. There's no deals anymore. And it's not it's so antithetical to what everything, Christmas or any like holidays. This is the time of year you're supposed to reflect and be appreciative and shit like that. And like the rampant consumerism is what's killing the holidays. I know it's not a fun answer, right? But it is what it is, man. It's not people not saying Merry Christmas, right? Whatever bullshit ass. My name is Merry Christmas, and you're gonna say Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
People still do that dumb shit.
yeah. All right,
I don't know.
all right, Mary. There you go.
Right. All right. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
So, for me, it's just Christmas dinner is a pale like everyone. It's Christmas dinner is like the event the UFC fight that comes on after the main event for some reason. Like the main event's not the last match on the card. Like obviously Thanksgiving's the main event, and then like Christmas rolls out and people don't feel like putting that much effort into it. Understandable. Like Thanksgiving's a huge
Right.
endeavor, but it's always a letdown compared to Thanksgiving. So
Yeah. Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
So, what my boss, uh, he he said that he can't stay. He doesn't really like Thanksgiving because he goes to his wife's house, right? His wife and their family are what they do to try and cater to him,
Hmm.
being a Gentile, is they buy ham, right? I'm like, they buy ham, they're Jewish. And it's like, yeah, they buy it for me, right? And it's like, so you get a whole ham? He was like, no, no, no. Not just that. They don't cook the ham. So it's just cold. It's just a cold slab of meat. Is that something that's done? Or is that just like,
I mean, I've had ham at Thanksgiving before. I can't tell you the last time I did. We're usually a turkey family. Sometimes they'll have ham as an extra option, not for any particular reason. My uncle also usually makes Polish sausage, which is also very good. That's usually like an appetizer. So
now that does sound good. That does sound good.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Again, like fucking Tyrone's Polish sausages don't sound right, right? Like, no, you got to go to the fucking Polak Johnny's to get yourself a good Polish. But like, when you did have the ham,
Hmm.
was it warm?
No, I don't. Well, yes, it was cooked. Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
all
understand
right,
the
all
cold
right.
ham thing. That doesn't.
All right,
That's
I was
that
just
sounds
making
like
sure.
someone couldn't be bothered to put in the effort. Is what that sounds like. So
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure we're on the same page. We weren't on
yeah.
the same page with the sweet potatoes.
And to
So
be
I want
clear,
to make
I'm not
sure
a
we're
ham,
on the
and I'm
same
not a
page.
ham guy, by the way. Like, if the ham's there, I'm not partaking. Like I'm much more of a turkey guy. So
Yeah, look, I get it. I just want to make sure that this ain't a me
this
thing.
is this is not this is not a white person thing. If that's what you're talking about. So.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck? Over there giving you fucking pig cadavers and shit. Get out of here, man.
Mad Coco G asks, "Are holiday themed updates like Nights on the Saturn a lost art?" I was unaware that Nights even did like a Christmas Nights thing back in the day until literally today when somebody posted a picture of it. I was like, "Oh, that's neat." No, I think that these things now just live in games that are more like life sim adjacent. Like I think Animal Crossing does some Christmas shit if you log in on Christmas Day, and I'm sure that other like slice of life games, like fucking why can't I think of the fucking name that the game that everyone plays? Shit, the fucking farming game. I'm literally drawing a blank right now.
Star,
Stardew Valley, thank you.
yeah,
Yes,
Stardew Valley.
yeah. I think Stardew Valley does holiday themed events in their games. So I think you have to find the right games for it. I don't really remember any other games doing such a thing that I can recall.
Yeah, I mean, get whatever random mobile game. I'm sure they'll
Yeah,
have
that's true.
some sort of holiday themed thing.
Yep. Anthony asks, any good GameStop holiday season stories from us?
The only one that I have is the one that I've told countless times. We got robbed 3 days before Christmas,
Yes.
and the guy came
And
in.
nobody knew.
Yeah, the guy came in, and I was stocking the shelves, and all of a sudden I hear a bunch of commotion. I turn around, I'm looking at Chris like, yo, what is wrong with you? Oh, okay. And then dude had Chris up at gunpoint. And he gave him the money, and then the dude walked out to the bus stop, caught the bus, and got away. And it wasn't just me. It wasn't just like me, Chris, and Roberto. It was like customers in the store, and nobody knew. That dude was slick, man. And people were pissed because it was 3 days before Christmas,
Yeah, and you had to close the store.
and we had to close the store. And they were like, "Well, can I just buy this real quick?" It was like, "We don't have any money." It was like, "Well, I got credit." It was like, all right, well, if you really want this, making the band or whatever bullshit music game you were trying to buy, you gotta wait until the police come, and so you could be a witness. And then they dipped. They were like, you know what? I don't need it. I was like, oh, all right.
Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure I've told this one too, but it's still my absolute favorite holiday story of working at GameStop. So I was running Towson Marketplace, and so the prior year to this one in question was the first year that GameStop did midnight openings for Black Friday, and they did not advertise it, so it was very low key. And they only did it at select stores, right? So it wasn't crazy. And so the next year they gave us basically the exact same payroll, and they did it at select stores again. But because it wasn't the first year, people knew about it now. I remember we had literally like 300 people in the store right away, and everyone was just in a big long line, pressed up together as we were getting through stuff fast we can. And I wasn't even there. Like it was so low key. They're like, oh, store managers, you don't even have to come in until like 5 a.m. Like, let your assistants run it. And so that was happening. I think we had like 3 people working. And when I got there, things had calmed down considerably, but it was still pretty busy. And so I asked my manager, like, hey, how's it going? Like he's like, oh my God. He's like, we were so busy. He's like, the craziest fucking thing happened where while they were in line, this customer like fainted from being like in the swath of bodies. And I remember I'd set up the store to create like a checkout line that was lined with like big box stuff like Guitar Hero World Tour and Tony Hawk Shred stuff and basically things that were set up as like impulse purchases while people were in line. And I remember, and I was like, that's crazy that this happened. And so I went back and watched the security camera footage of it happening. And it's funny because the dude that fainted and he was fine, by the way, just before anyone, gets concerned. The dude was standing just out of frame. So all of a sudden, like, as you're watching, you just see this like dude just literally fall over into frame and knocked over like a stack of Tony Hawk Shred skateboard stuff. And apparently, like, when like my assistant went to go check on him, he was like, "Oh my God, are you okay, dude?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I just need a 3DS, man. Like that's all I need. So I just need to get a 3DS." And so like everyone let him go to the front and got him out of there. But the funniest part about the whole thing was after this dude fell over, my SGA, who wasn't the brightest bulb in the box, let's say. While everyone's tending to this guy, like, oh my God, are you okay? This dude just fainted, like all this other shit. He's busy trying to pick up the fucking Tony Hawks, like to stack them back up. I'm just like, holy shit, man, it's not that important. Oh my God. So that, at least that's my favorite story, and I wasn't even there for it. Like I got to see the aftermath basically of the of the dude fainting. But it made for a very funny security camera video, I can tell you that much. So Mark asks again, who in TNP is making it the farthest in the traders, and are they a trader or a faithful? Now, it may surprise listeners to know this. I don't know what the traders is, so we're going to Google it real quick. The Traders is a reality show that's been on for 3 seasons on the Peacock Network, which I am a subscriber to. And it is hosted by former James Bond henchman Alan Cumming, which
I am invincible.
Exciting. Yes. So apparently it's a murder mystery game, is how Wikipedia describes this. And if I'm interpreting this correctly, it seems like it's basically it's werewolf. It's basically like werewolf, but done in a way that makes for good TV. So that being the case, I can certainly answer the question and tell you that I would absolutely be a trader because I don't get to play social deduction games very often, but I think that I'm pretty good at them. And of course, it's always more fun to play those games when you're trying to deceive the other people at the table.
They would be terrible at it because Jay's not a very good liar. And I don't think he has. I'm a pretty good liar. As long as it's not like funny, I can like keep a straight. I can keep it together. Terrence would be awful at it. He would be god awful. Because one, he wouldn't want to do it, and 2, if he did do it, he'd be like, This is dumb. All right, all right, all right. I did it. I'm the traitor. All right, get out of here. I don't know about Carrie. Carrie's a wild card. I think you'd be pretty good at it too
Hmm.
because you're pretty you have the most experience with games. Um, oh, you know what? This is how I know Jay would be awful at it because for my bachelor party, he took us to an escape room and we figured the fucking thing out and then he tripped over his own goddamn feet at the end of it and we failed.
He didn't trip over. To be clear, he didn't trip over his feet. He went to grab the thing that was protected by a laser grid, and it was very obvious
Yes.
that it was protected by a laser grid. We had to turn off the laser grid first to get the key that would let us out of the room.
God damn it. So yeah, he'd be awful.
Yeah, I think I'd probably do the best.
Probably. You got the most gaming experience and you seem like a nice guy. Like
Hmm.
I want to believe, you know what I mean?
My
Like
my
I,
my specialty when I play those types of games is I'm very good at shifting the suspicion onto other players. That's my
yeah.
that's my talent in the game is I'm very good at making people think that other players are actually fucked up. So and that way I don't have to defend myself because that's where it fall apart. Like if I had to defend myself, that's where things get a little wonky. But if you can shift the suspicion onto somebody else, it becomes a lot easier. So
I mean, the sounds presidential to me, Brad.
yeah,
You sound
you just got to make things sound very logical, and that's and people are like, you know what, I think he's onto something. I think he's right.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Look, people need no proof to believe a lie, but need all the proof in the world to believe the truth. So yeah.
My favorite moment in any of these games is we were playing a group of us were playing the Resistance, which is basically like it's a very similar game to Werewolf. And Resistance is a game where you basically like choose teams to go out on missions, and all the entire team has to basically like put a success card in for the mission to work, and if there are a couple spies at the table, and if any of the spies are on the mission and they put a fail card in, the entire mission gets failed. And so like the standard practice, kind of the pro strat in in the game is if you're a spy, you don't want to fail the first mission. Because the spy has the option of playing a fail card or a success card. So the pro strat is you never want to fail the first mission because you don't want to invite suspicion onto yourself. And I remember in the game that we played, the first mission, only three people go, and in this game there were two spies at the table, me and my friend Brandon, and we both were selected for the first mission, and we both put in fail cards. So I'm just like, oh shit, like, like this is not good. And so basically, the way the and we won the game. The way that we won the game is by me basically like not even pretending that I wasn't a spy, but getting the entire rest of the table to suspect the other person who also is on the mission, who is his wife, and that's how we won the game. It was on the last mission. He got brought along, Brandon did, and failed it, and we won. And that, like I said, I was very proud of that. Like getting completely fucking found out on mission one and still coming out to win the game. That's how you know. That's how you know that's good. Last question from Johnny, who I guess is coming out to the East Coast because he said, "What is a good barbecue joint in the DMV?"
Um, the Federalist Pig. Been there before. I really like their pulled pork, and 250 Texas Barbecue
Mm-hmm.
is also pretty pretty good there. Um, I haven't had too many other places. I don't know them off the top of my head. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been to other barbecue places, but I don't know them off the top of my head. So
Yeah, Carrie.
you know, don't go to
Carrie
Mission Barbecue.
Yeah, don't go to
You
Mission
know,
Barbecue because you can get that anywhere. Carrie suggested Andy Nelson's in Timonium, which is a good choice. That's not really like a sit down place though. Like that's more of a like it's like a hole in the wall kind of carry out place, but it is very good. If you're actually going to like eat a meal, my suggestion would be the Blue Pit Barbecue in Hamden, which is right outside of Baltimore. That's pretty good. But also, Johnny, if you're coming to the DMV, especially if you're going to be in the around Baltimore, don't worry about barbecue. Go find yourself some pit beef, sir. Go to Chaps and make that happen for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. You'll
That
find there's plenty of places, especially if you. Uh, so if you come into the DMV, depending on where you're coming from, like Baltimore's only like a 40-minute drive away.
mhm.
And then, everything, what you need to know is that everything around this area is 30 to 45 minutes from everywhere else, right? So, anything that's good or decent, it's like 30 to 45 minutes away. So, because like technically the DMV isn't Baltimore, so you're gonna go for a
That's
hike if you
true.
go up to like
That's true.
Timonium.
Yeah.
You're gonna, it's gonna be a minute, but yeah, if you're willing to make the drive, then yeah, you'll find plenty of good stuff. But if you're just staying in DC proper, like one, good luck driving, because it's a fucking pain in the ass. But yeah, two, yeah, I would go to Federalist Pig. If you're willing to make the drive, yeah, head up to I haven't been to either of those places
Mhm.
because I haven't I haven't been up there in a while, but yeah,
There you go. And make sure you report back and let us know where you did go and how it was. Because I am always curious to find more places that I didn't know about, especially when it comes to barbecue and shit like that. That is going to be it for us. Thank you all very much for watching and listening. We'll talk about some F1 Fallout next week. And when are. I think the Game Awards are next week, so we won't
the
talk
Game
about
Awards are
those.
like a Thursday.
They always are. Yeah, it's on the 11th, so we won't talk about those until
Are
the
we
episode after that.
are we doing our Game of the Year awards or before or after the Game Awards?
That's a good
Because
question. Or
I got 10 games. If we're doing 10, I got 10 games.
I mean,
But
I would. I mean, I'm still figuring out the placement, but I would be prepared to speak to it. We'll have to ask Carrie and Terrence to see if they are willing and able, because maybe that's what we do next week. Because I'd imagine the news
yeah,
is gonna stay slow. So this time of year,
yeah, and I can't imagine like no other games are coming out this month
God,
that
I
any
hope
of us
not.
will have.
Jesus Christ.
That any of us will have enough time to actually play and
Oh
sit down
fuck,
and play.
Metroid comes out this week.
All right, well, that might be an Indiana Jones thing,
Yeah,
where it's
I would
like,
agree.
what, that transfers over to next year.
Plus, I'm not sure. Actually, before at the very end here, you and I can talk for 2 minutes. Do you have opinions, or are you even aware of the Metroid Prime 4 discourse that's out
No,
there right
I
now?
have no idea what's going on.
So Nintendo showed like a trailer, a gameplay trailer, a couple weeks ago. And the internet, some parts of the internet had a collective freak out about it because apparently, at least early in the game, we don't know how long it'll last. But there is a inept, wisecracking nerd character who joins you for a moment of time and is like the hey, like you might want to check your map for this kind of thing character, at least early on, and people are having a moment about it, uh especially if this guy hangs around for some time.
What? They gave Samus a sidekick.
They did. His name, I shit you not, is Miles with a Y Mackenzie.
Miles McKenzie.
Yes, and he's part of the Galactic Federation, but apparently he's like, like he's playing like a Rick Moranis style, side character situation. Some people are really upset
Wow.
about it. I'll tell you this, I don't like it. I don't like it. It
It's
feels very un-Metroid to me.
like, how about you just give Samus more of a character instead of like, unless, and like, I get it if you want like Samus to be like more of a stoic protagonist
Which
so that
in the
you
scenes they showed she is. She's like no selling him and Like it's not like she's talking. You know what I mean? Like it's not look who's talking to over here with Samus. Like she's still being the Samus you would expect, but just like
Yeah,
I
because
don't yeah.
that's kind of like because that's kind of like the part of her aura, right? Like that's kind of like part of like what makes her the a badass, right? Like she's, but I get what they're trying to do, right? Like they're trying to give her a little bit of personality without losing the stoicism,
Mhm.
but I don't know if if this dude with the corrective lenses underneath his helmet um, is the way to do it. I would rather them. Well, I guess the last time a Metroid game tried to give Samus a personality, we got Metroid Other M, and I don't know what the fuck they did to Samus there, but so maybe this is just a
I mean,
new.
if you're gonna do this, like, just give her a fucking Jarvis, man. Like that's like you've done that before, and it's been mostly fine in these
Yeah,
games. I mean, like you can't do Adam Malkovich because it wouldn't work in the timeline with with this specific game, I don't think. But like you could do a similar kind of situation, and just make sure that and give players the option to disable it if they don't want it. Like in Prime One Remaster, it gave players the option to like be nudged with like a hint at where they should be going, like if they were kind of just aimlessly wandering around for a little while, but you could disable that if you wanted to.
are people comparing him to Jar Jar Binks? Jesus
That's what I'm
Christ!
saying. Some people are real upset about it on Al Gore's internet. I'm not quite like, oh my god, like fuck this game forever, but like if this dude exists beyond the tutorial slash introductory regions of the game, I don't know if I'm going to be very down with that. I'm just being honest. So
Oh, I think this guy's like. I think this guy is gonna be like with you.
I
Like
really
I think
hope not,
he's.
because
Oh,
that kind of goes against the whole fucking ethos of what Metroid is as
yeah, man.
as a game.
Oof. You know, I've never been a huge fan of these first-person Metroids.
Hmm.
Uh, but that, part of that is me being an old man who doesn't like change. I
I
just,
mean, also part of it's the fact that like the 2D ones are just better games generally, like
yeah,
in my
like that,
opinion.
like, yeah, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, But I appreciate, like, I'm not getting this. I played the first Metroid uh, first-person game,
Mhm.
and it's fine. It just wasn't for me. But I appreciate the effort in trying to change things up. Nah, yo, I think this is your partner, bro. He
That
is a
would be
chatterbox,
that would
dude.
be so bad if that's the case.
Yeah, he's walking exposition, man. He's walking exposition. Ooh, mm, all right.
Well, we'll
Good luck.
see. We'll see how the internet reacts. We'll have reactions next week from the internet. I don't know from us personally because Mike just he's not going to play it, and I'm a little on the fence. I got to wait for reviews. I'm dead serious though. This took me from like yeah, I'm buying this on day one to like let's wait to see what people say.
Yeah, yeah. Oof.
So
All right.
all right, thank you all for watching, listening. See you all next time.
See ya.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.